was thinking, bro. I was thinking.
All right, so shh.
It sounds like ham.
So today we're gonna teach you how to draw this. This is slope field. Like you can change. Now, shh, guys. This is a dy dx function. Dy dx represents slope, and slope by any given x and y values. So here we only use the integer values. So let's say 1, -1, or -2, 0, so -2, -2. We only use that specific point. At that specific point, I'm gonna draw a slope corresponding to that coordinates. Okay, so that basically that's what you do. You can have something like, divided by x, like this. So you look like this. It looks kind of interesting. So, but remember, on the left side of the function is actually dy dx. Dy dx represents slope. So let's go back. Look at what we learned today. Oh, tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
No one here is learning about that.
No. Oh my god. No.
Okay, so algebra 1, you can teach algebra 1 student how to do a slope field, believe it or not. So all you gotta do is pay attention to particular slopes. So in slope is equal to 1, it should look like this. It's actually 45 degrees, which is you can have rise over run of 1/1. You can have 2, which is probably like something like this, because probably is actually supposed to do a 1, but I only just gonna do it in one space. So it's gonna be 2. M equal to 1/2. That's gonna be something like this, because 1/2 supposed to look like this long, but if I just use the same segment, it's gonna be like this. M is equal to -1. It's gonna look like this. M equal to -2 is gonna look like this. M equal to -1/2, it should look like this. Okay? Now, are you gonna be precise? No. Just don't need to draw the wrong sign of slope. They should not give you a penalty. If you say you draw the slope of 1 and you draw the other way, then that's where the penalty comes in. If you didn't draw as a steep or whatever, they don't give you points off. So what's easiest point to earn is actually the 0 slope. M equal to 0 is one thing you should always pay attention to. The 0 slope is looking like a horizontal line. And that's it. So this you should look first, because if you got a 0 slope, you're gonna get 1 out of 2 points. If you get rest of the slope, it's gonna be another point. So 0 slope is easiest one to earn. Am I going too fast? Okay. So now I'm gonna go to 1 here. I'm gonna say dy dx, which is this is the first part of your homework, is equal to let's just say x plus 2. So I have a slope, a differential equation, y equal to x plus 2, and we say, hey, can you draw the slope field? The best thing to do is you're gonna do a t-chart, or actually not just a t-chart, it's actually a double t-chart. Double t-chart is like this, and I don't know if it's called a double t-chart. I just made it up. So there was an x and there was a y and there's dy dx. So there are 3 things. Now, this slope equation is only depend on x value. It does not depend on y value, because dy dx is equal to x plus something. Now, can you tell me, when does dy dx equal to 0? When did that happen? X is equal to what? -2. And y doesn't matter. It could be any other number. So any numbers. Does that make sense? What happened if it's a -1? What happened if it's a 0?
2.
What happens -3? -1. So okay, so let's just go ahead and graph those specific things. So I'm gonna take a graph, and I'm gonna draw the slope field. And the slope field, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go to 5. And the first thing I should always draw is a zero slope. Zero slope at -2. So x equal to -2. It's gonna be like this. I'll draw on top of the coordinates. I should use a different color, sorry. It's gonna be like this. And I'm gonna draw all the way when x equal to, so I only draw on the coordinates. Okay, at -1, I'm gonna have a slope of 1. Which is the 45-degree one. And that 2 is going to be a little bit steep. As you see, it's more steeper than the other one. Now, again, if you didn't draw as steep, you're not going to get points off. Because your first point is given by this part. That's easiest one. The rest of the slope field is only worth 1 point. So if you screw up, just don't screw up the wrong direction. For example, x equal to -1 is going to have a negative slope. So negative slope should look like this. So on your homework today, you just have to do that double T-chart. Find out a zero slope, draw it, and go according to whatever information is given to you. Yes.
So like the actual equation, because this is the equation of the first derivative, right?
Mhm.
So the actual equation could follow any of those, right? Depending on C.
Yes. So let's just say I have actually that's a very good question. AP exam does ask that sometimes. So let's just say I have some type of initial condition. So let's say initial condition is at here. It's at this point here. Then you're probably just gonna go through this. The equation is probably go through like this. It follow the current. So the equation is probably gonna, on one of the AP exam in the past, they actually want you to draw out that one equation. You're gonna go to the initial condition. For example, this initial condition is at -2, 0. Then point is gonna be right here, and it's gonna along between the curve, between the coordinates right here, between the slope fields, like parallel to it. And that's pretty much where the graph is gonna go. Am I going too fast? Yes, maybe? Okay. So your homework is already airdropped to you before. It's the same homework question. Do you want me to airdrop to you again? You chilling? So I will want you to do not this page, not the application of differential equation, but however, I will ask you to do those 3 questions right here. Number question 6 here, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will ask you to do that, and there's answers there. But this is the slope field I will ask you to do. You're gonna have to do all the slope field here, and you're gonna have to matching. So for example, this one you want to match. Which slope field is gonna be matched with this one? The best thing is to figure out where the zero slope is. If you can figure out zero slope, you can figure out how to win the matching part. And then you got all the way through, you got question 17, you got question 18. So this is the last questions. So at first you have slope field. You got to learn how to draw slope fields. So I want you to draw this particular one, 3. dy dx equal to x plus y. This one's interesting. Again, look for where the zero slope is. Anybody want chocolate? Nice catch. Anybody else? You play basketball? I got two. I got two more.
Just throw the bulb over there. Oh. No, don't tell them. Stop.
Ready for interception?
So,
That was a bad throw.
You did that on purpose.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ariana.
Oh.
It's a milk chocolate. There's no nuts.
Do we do one or two, or should we just start on question?
No, I want you to do question 3. Question 3 has an x and y. So figure out what a zero slope here. So do question 3 first. Question 3 is pretty cool. What makes a zero slope here? They're both zero, that's true, but there's more than that.
wait, did
It can have more than one zeros, but you have to find out the zero slope first.
And that, like,
So 0, 0. 1, negative 1. Oh, it's negative 1, 1, 1. That's crazy.
The other way.
yeah, like,
In a y equals negative x, like the line. So in a line has just one way.
yes.
Look at this. All those, why do you keep, I don't know where you're raising that. Impossible. All of these would be fine.
Yeah, like, and like this way too.
No.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because when x equal to 1, y equal to 1 is actually 2.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is that?
That's weird. Okay, so it's only 0. It's only 0 when they're opposite, or 0. So it's up like here. It would be 1 and negative 1. So it has to be in either quadrant 2 or 4. Or 0. Yeah. So like the negative 1 and positive 1.
Oh, yeah.
It makes
He's right. Yeah, so he's right. He's right. He's saying like when they're opposite. So like,
Okay.
right.
Like
One.
negative-
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then 0.
1 negative 1.
He doesn't know.
That would be 0.
And here,
2 negative 2. That'd be 0.
positive.
3 negative 3.
If
That
you
would
do
be
it here
0.
and up,
Same over there.
so
So
become 2 and 2. That's 4.
negative 1 1
Here
0.
we go,
So it's like
negative
it's
1,
diagonally 0.
Diagonal between like a second quadrant and the fourth quadrant.
Yeah. But not the first.
So would we have to like find like the slope of all of those points?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's not hard because it become a pattern.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to the pattern, that you're gonna see, you guys come up with a very good conclusion. So the conclusion was if they are opposite to each other, then it should have the zero slope. Now on AP exam, they only require you to do this, which is they want you to find out what the zero slope is. If your zero slope is gonna form here, 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 then rest of them is gonna be interesting because you think about it. What happened if it's negative 1, positive 2? Then I hear you're gonna get always XM slope. Negative 1, positive 2. Guess what? It's all 1, right? And look at here. What happens 1, 0? Or 0, 1? Do you see that?
Do you have to make table or can you just do it visually?
I do it with table and then especially the zero slope. I always look for zero slope because zero slope, if you just do zero slope, don't do any other slope, you get 1 point already.
So on the AP exam, will they give us only like that many dots, or will they give us?
They give you 9 dot usually.
That's it. So you could just do visually.
You can do it individually. So if you want to be safe, you can do it individually. Now look at always do the zero slope first because that earn you an easiest point. If you have no slope, don't write on it. Just leave it blank. Okay, so what happened at here? This is gonna have this, right? Do you see that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
When did I agree to that?
Wait.
So the slope of,
Wait, what is that?
even if I did all of them, it doesn't take long time.
Nice look at this. Saturday.
Officer.
That's
It's just Saturday.
damn.
I don't even know
That's not
how
that
long
much.
it is.
What words that have I don't know.
She said 8 to win.
For real?
Listen, you go on your.
Will I get kicked off of them, bro? It's gonna be so quick, bro.
I'm about to do it all in one day.
Yeah, I know my
He does
fridge.
that every year.
I did
Wait,
my-
the host here or host somewhere else?
Here.
I did my fridge 5
Yeah,
a.m.
but
last
no,
year.
OSS comes from
5 a.m. before, right before the event.
Huh?
We always lose to OSS.
No, we have to do good this year.
Yes.
Come on.
Nah, nah.
OSS always kicks on.
No,
Bro,
but we're doing
no.
good this year.
I think U-Balls also does it.
Not in bridge. Not
For
in
state.
They don't come here though.
No, for state. They don't.
Biots is probably pretty good too.
I got that thing locked down. It's not locked down. It's so bad. It's so bad.
All right, get to work.
I need to work configured.
I have to be one to chill up with the wood. Okay, he went to no, hold on. Went for a bridge.
Hey, oh, hey, oh.
Listen, he was supposed to show up on Friday to pay us with the stuff for the bridge.
Oh,
He said, "Oh yeah, I'm driving to the place now."
yeah, Brian called me actually. He's like saying, "Oh, that stuff to you."
All right, get to work. Get to work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy my sandwich.
That's not what you did.
Subway.
Aaron?
Veggie patty.
Veggie patty? What is a veggie patty?
What is?
Oh,
It's a patty made of vegetable.
okay.
Or like, what is it made out of? Well,
Man,
you can eat all of it, huh?
Soybeans, carrots. I think green bean.
Like
What do you
impossible
think?
burger.
Huh?
Are you like vegan or vegetarian?
I'm
Oh,
vegetarian. I'm not vegan. Vegan's too hard. I eat cheese.
Because you've been like vegetarian like your whole life.
All my life.
Never.
I was born in a monastery.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
Six. Wait, what? What? Six? No. I was just throwing out numbers.
Oh,
I had to throw a number out. Enough that satisfies you.
Yeah, no. Dude, what?
Okay, come on, guys.
Okay, you can do it.
Wait, this is, yeah, it's just on camera.
This is not on camera.
It's from the last one.
It's also,
Oh.
It's the same file.
Okay.